I'm sitting with Nannagaru in his room in Tiruvannamalai in November, and we've just had the beautiful Deepan ceremony. And I'm going to ask him some questions for pointers to awakening. These questions are designed to unfold the teachings of Ramana Maharshi. Ramana proposed the fundamental question, who am I? Nana, can I ask you, who are you?
I am undying spirit.
Many Western seekers come to India looking for enlightenment, as if it is an experience. What is enlightenment?
Many Western seekers come to India looking for enlightenment.
Yes.
As if it is an experience. What is enlightenment? Question.
Yes.
What is enlightenment? Truth realization is enlightenment.
Can you explain that a little bit?
Truth realization is enlightenment.
Can you explain what do you mean by truth?
If you realize the truth, freedom will come. If you realize the truth, freedom will come. Freedom from rebirth, freedom from nature, freedom will come to us. Freedom from bondage. Enlightenment means truth realization.
I think when Western people come to India seeking enlightenment, they have the idea that this is something to get, something they will find. Is that true?
Well, ఏంటి నేను చెప్పేది వెస్టర్న్ పీపుల్ వస్తున్నారు ఎందుకు వస్తున్నారు ఇట్ ఈజ్ ఎన్ ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ ఇన్ ఇండియా Some people got realization, truth realization, God realized souls. In India, especially in the spiritual land, India is spiritual land. India is so many truth seekers, the prophets and seers. It is an ancient land. India is very, very, very ancient land. Western countries should learn so much about spiritual things from India. So also, India also should learn material things from Western countries. Material welfare about from Western countries. India is a spiritual center. India is a spiritual center. So many, not only one or two, many religious souls are in India. Some people are known or unknown. Some religious souls are known or unknown. Certainly, if you are in the presence of truth realization, they also get inspiration to know the truth, to live in the truth, to absorb the truth. That is why so many Western people coming to India, and there are so many holy places also in India. They are coming to see holy places also. It is a very, very, very ancient land. Thinkers, spiritual kings, thinkers, noble souls, advanced souls, evolved souls are in India. So Western people are coming for guidance from the Indian seers. If you must know the truth. Unless you know the truth, we can't get freedom. Freedom is essential from known and unknown.
Can you tell us what is this truth?
And
Can you tell us what is this truth?
Truth ante ఏంటంటే
what is truth? Truth means eternity. Truth means eternity. Truth is permanent. Truth is permanent. Truth is the nature of truth is bliss. The nature of truth is freedom. The nature of truth is undying spirit. The nature of truth is knowledge. The nature of truth knows neither birth nor death. It is above. Truth is above all these troubles and all these troubles and customs and traditions. Accept truth. Accept truth. Accept Brahman. Accept reality. Everything is created by the mind. Customs also, traditions also, the cultures also created by the mind. Only truth, you can't create truth. Truth is always there, whether you know it or not. Except truth, everything is created by the human mind.
So when people come to India seeking truth, looking for truth, in fact they are already truth.
I am already in truth.
You are already, yes, you are already in truth. Everybody, not only everybody is in truth. Everybody is in truth. If one knows the fact, everybody is in truth. If one knows the fact, he is here. If he don't know the truth that is in him, he is not safe. In everybody's heart there is truth. If you know it, you become free. You become a sage. If you don't know, you become a slave to circumstances, to nature, to likes and dislikes, everything. Know it, there is a truth. There is a truth. The main thing is whether you know it or not. If you know it, you will become happy. You will get sorrowless state. You will get sorrowless state. If you don't know, sorrow will hunt you. Sorrow will drive you birth after birth. So only truth is free from sorrow. Only truth is free from bondage. Only truth is free from everything that is nonsense.
So there is a little joke, yes, because people are coming, say, to India, searching for truth, when in fact they are already truth.
ఆల్రెడీ ట్రూత్ లో ఉన్నా మళ్ళీ చర్చ చేస్తూ ఇండియాకి ఎందుకు వస్తున్నారు?
To know, already is truth itself, no doubt. But to know the truth that is already hidden in the heart, to know the truth that is already hidden in the heart, how to know the truth? They are coming to India for guidance, to know the truth already in you. But one thing is, he says there is truth in everybody's heart. Suppose if you do not see any seed, if you do not see any enlightened soul, if you do not see any evolved soul, he thinks that he is mere body, he thinks that he is mere mind. But not inwardly, but outwardly also. If you see the seed, if you see the enlightened soul, if you see the advanced soul, if you see the evolved soul with your own eyes, if you live for some time in his presence, then you will get a thought. There is a truth in me. I have to realize. I have to realize this. Such inspiration comes from Indian sage.
I understand. I think that's why we enjoy to sit with you.
అంతే మీ దగ్గర కూర్చోవడం మాకు ఆనందంగా ఉంది.
Very good. Thank you very much.
You have such beautiful eyes.
You very much.
You have such a twinkling eyes. Twinkling eyes.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your understanding.
So another question, are there any qualifications for enlightenment?
For enlightenment.
Is sadhana necessary?
Are there any qualifications for enlightenment? Qualifications are essential. In relative truth, qualifications are essential. Are there any one is topmost importance should be given to purity. Speech, the essential thing is mind, speech and deed must be one. Mind, word, mind, heart, mind, word, deed. These things must be one. That is the main qualification for truth realization. That is the essential thing. That is the main thing. The topmost qualification is heart, mind, word and deed must be one. Enlightenment and purity. The essential qualification is mind control. Unless you learn how to control the mind, you can't integrate towards the truth that is already hidden in the heart. where the mind springs, there is truth. That is not relative truth. I say truth means that not relative truth. It is absolute truth. It is absolute truth. The question is, are there any qualification for it? Yes, purity, mind control, and must be one. Heart, mind, speech, word must be one. That is the main qualification for enlightenment.
When you say mind control, what do you mean, mind control?
మైండ్ కంట్రోల్ అంటే ఏంటి అని.
Mind control. To arrest the wandering of mind. Mind control means you have to arrest the wandering of mind. The wandering of mind brings sorrow. Wandering of mind brings unnecessary thoughts. Wandering of mind brings physical ill health and mental ill health also. Too much wandering of mind, it is very, very bad for material and spiritual things also. Power of concentration is essential.
Do you suggest some particular practice?
మనకి చెకింగ్ కానీ ప్రాక్టీస్ కానీ ఏదైనా ఉందా ఈ మైండ్ కంట్రోల్.
Mind control, there is upasana. Put your mind on your favorite God. Put your mind, any God you like, any Guru you like, please remember his name and meditate on his path. And the pranayama also do something good. Pranayama, if you like pranayama, if you like it also do good something. It also do good. Pranayama also. The best thing is upasana. Upasana means constantly think Arunachala, think of Arunachala, think of Arunachala's name. If you think one thing, if you think God, or if you think what is there in your heart, if you think always about your absolute truth, then automatically the mind will be stopped. The wandering of mind will be stopped. There is upasana. In Sanskrit word, there is upasana. Upasana for mind control.
And
In
meditation?
Indian tradition, most of the seekers, most of the truth seekers, most of the devotees say, unless you are accustomed to upasana, you can't get salvation. And follow it, Nannagaru.
They are following.
Yes.
Unless you are accustomed to upasana, you can't get realization.
And do you recommend meditation?
మెడిటేషన్ రికమెండ్ చేస్తారా మీరు అంటున్నారు.
Yes, upasana is another part. I recommend only two things, important things, what is dispassion, discrimination and meditation. I recommend three things: discrimination, dispassion and meditation.
Yes.
Meditation also will do so much good to arrest the mind.
Okay, thank you.
Are there any qualification for enlightenment? And is sadhana necessary? Is sadhana? If there is sadhaka, sadhana is necessary. If there is a sadhaka, sadhana is necessary. If there is no sadhaka, sadhana is not necessary.
So just to explain that, what you're saying is that if I think I'm somebody, then I need to meditate. If there's no body, I don't need to meditate.
ఇప్పుడు నేను బాడీని కాదనుకుంటే కదా మెడిటేషన్ చేయాలి, లేకపోతే అక్కర్లేదు కదా మెడిటేషన్.
meditation is meant only for truth seekers. Meditation is not for realizations. Meditation is not the destination. Meditation is means to go to the destination. Meditation is not necessary for realizing the enlightened souls. Meditation is essential only for sadhaka, for truth seeker.
Right.
Who meditates?
Right.
Mind meditates.
Right.
If there is no mind meditation also is not necessary. If there is disease, medicine is necessary. If there is no disease, medicine is not necessary. Who is meditator? Who is meditator? The mind is only meditator. If you have no mind meditator, who will do meditation?
Exactly. Yeah. Good. Another question. Ramana said self-inquiry is the most direct route to realizing the self. What do you say about self-inquiry?
Ramana said self-inquiry is the most direct route to realizing the self. Ramana got to realization by not self-inquiry.
Right.
He got realization by not self-inquiry.
Right.
He taught self-inquiry. Ramana got realization.
Right.
Ramana self-inquiry is the most direct route. Not only he taught, Ramana taught, not only self-inquiry.
Yeah.
He also taught Sharanagati Marga, surrender Marga.
Surrender.
Surrender. He taught only two margas, two paths. He gave importance to surrender. To surrender. To partial surrender or absolute surrender. In early stage, partial surrender, and in the end, automatically absolute surrender will come. Ramana taught not only one path. He laid so much stress on two. One is completed to surrender to the will of God. And another sankalpa, another marga, another path is self-inquiry. If you have complete trust that there is a God, if you have complete trust that there is the Almighty, you have complete trust about the control of the universe, then Sharanagati Marga, surrender Marga is the best to you. If you constantly doubt the existence of God, then self-inquiry is essential.
So could we say that by conducting self-inquiry, we are in fact constantly being reminded of God?
ఎంక్వైరీ కన్స్టెంట్ గా చేసినట్టు వల్ల దేవుని మనం తలుచుకోవచ్చా?
Self-inquiry. These are two different things. In self-inquiry, first one thing, mind, world, God. Mind, world, God. If mind arises, there is world, there is God. If mind subsided, there is no world, there is no God. In self-inquiry, in self-inquiry, you have to put the mind in its source. In its source. There is truth. The real self-inquiry, there is truth in your heart. Simply, you put your mind in the truth. In the truth. You put your mind, you withdraw your mind in the truth. That is already real in your heart. That is real inquiry. There is truth. There is one truth. There is undying spirit. There is immortal state. There is immortal state. That is already present in our heart. Simply you put your mind in its own source. That is real self-inquiry. Then you need not think about God. Because after the mind arises, God will come, world will come, everything will come. Likes come, desires will come, fear will come, separateness will come. After the mind arises, world will come, God will come, separateness will come, you and I will come, first person come, second person come, third person come. After the mind arises, mind is best. In self-inquiry, you have to focus you have to put the mind in its own source. You need not think about world. You need not think about God. You need not think about God. Who is thinking about God? Mind is thinking about God. Withdraw the mind to its own source. Put the mind on the truth in your heart. That is best self-inquiry.
Okay.
Yeah.
The thing is, in self-inquiry, world is not important. God also is important. Who is doing self-inquiry? Mind is self-inquiry. If you subside your mind, if you control your mind, if you are in a position to withdraw the mind to its source, there is no world, there is no God.
So these two paths are not really two paths. Yeah? They come to be one path.
ఈ రెండు పాత్రలు ఒకటేనా అని అడుగుతున్నాడు. సెల్ఫ్ ఎంక్వైరీ అండ్
In the end, in the conclusion, they lead to the same goal.
Yeah.
They lead to the same goal, to the same destination. No doubt. But people have many temperaments. People have many mental makeups. These two paths, but they lead shakers to the same destination. The thing is, in self-inquiry, there is mind, there is world, there is God. You have to, if there is no mind, there is no God. If there is no mind, there is no world. After mind arises, world will come, God will come. Put the question, who is this side? Not who am I, who is this side, who is this mind? If you constantly question the mind, slowly it will withdraw to its source. Where the mind springs, there is eternity, there is truth, that knows neither birth nor death.
When Ramana is asked, when will the realization...
When Ramana is asked, when will the realization of the self be gained? He replied, when the world which is what is seen has been removed, there will be realization of the self which is the seer.
What is this word?
What is the true understanding of the word world?
Yes.
World.
If you see the rope, perhaps we have read before, if you see the rope in its form, in its correct perception, there is no snake. There is no snake. Only rope appears like snake. If you think that is a snake, that is a snake, that is also, then also it is rope. If you are seeing snake in the rope, you are seeing snake in the rope. Then you thinking that is snake, that is also that is rope. Or rope seems like snake to you. If you see correctly the rope, there is no snake. There is no snake. Snake appearance. It is not real. It is appearance. After you see the rope, the snake already will be disappeared. It seems. What also it seems. There is no world at all. It seems. If you realize the truth, if you see a rope, there is no smoke, there is no snake. If you see the truth, there is no world. Only what? There is no world, it appears. Like a snake appears in the rope. Another world appears in the truth. If you see the truth face to face, then there is no world to see. There is no mind to control.
How to remove the world?
How to remove this world?
What is how to?
How to remove the world from the mind?
How to remove the
World.
Unless you realize the truth as it is, unless you realize the absolute truth as it is, you cannot remove the world from your mind. If you see the world, fear will come, duality will come, likes and dislikes will come, everything will come that is nonsense to us. It also only fear will bring death, fear will bring sorrow. It is also, if you see the truth face to face, then there is no world to see. If you can't realize the absolute truth as it is, till then the world will not disappear from your mind. Whatever sadhana you do, whatever sadhana you do,
Any doubt?
It has been suggested that the mind must be destroyed for liberation to occur. Do you have a mind?
it has been suggested the mind must be destroyed for
Liberation to occur. Do you have a mind?
Do you have a mind?
Yes. I have sattvic mind. My mind will work, will act and not react. My mind will act but not react. I have mind. My mind is sattvic mind. It will act but not react. It will work. I have mind, but it is sattvic.
No reaction.
No reaction. No reaction at all under any circumstances. Yes, I have mind. It is sattvic mind.
Okay.
It is cool mind.
Yes.
It is cool mind.
Yes. Ramana used the term mononasa
used the term
Manasa to describe the state of liberation, meaning destroyed mind.
Manonasa to describe the state. Ramana used the term Manonasa to describe the state of liberation.
Meaning destroyed mind.
How to destroy the mind? How to destroy the mind? If you constantly put your mind in the heart cave, it will be destroyed. Manonasa is essential, no doubt. Ramana says Manonasa. But Manonasa means Barantrope. ఆ బరంట్రోప్ ఊరికి అలా కనిపిస్తాను. బరంట్రోప్ అది దేన్ని కట్టడానికి పని చేయదు. అది చెప్పండి.
Current rope, it appears like a rope.
It looks like rope,
But if there is nothing, it is not useful for anything.
For anything.
For anything.
But it looks like rope.
Rope.
Manonasa means burnt rope.
That's all.
So it doesn't mean that the mind is destroyed. It means mind is still functioning, but has no power, has no fight.
Mind functioning and antunagala, దానికి power ఉండదా destroy అయిన తర్వాత.
Mind function, there is mind function, but it is burnt rope. It will not arrest you. రమణ మహర్షి గారికి కూడా మైండ్ అది యూనివర్సల్ మైండ్, అది బంధించదండి. ఇప్పుడు మీరు కామేశ్వరరావు గారని గుర్తుపడుతున్నారు, మైండ్ లేకుండా ఎలా గుర్తుపడతారండి? కామేశ్వరరావు గారని తెలుస్తుంది, ఆయన జాన్ అని తెలుస్తుంది, మామూలుగా ఈ మైండ్ తోటి చూస్తున్నారు కదండి. బట్ దే ఈ జ్ఞానీస్ మైండ్ కనుక వాళ్ళేమో అరెస్ట్ చేయరు. ఇట్ ఈజ్ మైండ్ ఇన్ ప్యూరిటీ. Mind in purity is the truth. Mind in purity is the truth. The essential thing in spiritual sadhana, we acquire the purity of mind.
Is this what the Buddhists call no mind? This no mind, what you're calling pure mind, is the same as no mind?
No mind anna purity of mind anna okay.
No mind is equal to pure mind.
Yeah.
They are one and the same. They are one and the same. We need not doubt about it.
Okay.
What?
So another question. What about vasanas? What about vasanas?
What about vasanas?
The tendencies of the mind.
What about vasanas? The tendencies of the mind.
Tendencies of the mind. Tendencies of the mind, they are coming from previous births. Tendencies of the mind are coming from previous births. Suppose if you do a work, we expect result. Generally, if you do a work, we expect result. Then result will come. We enjoy it. We
Enjoy.
enjoy it. In enjoying the result, tendency will spring. From tendency, thought will come. From thought, you do action, selfish action. From selfish action, from body bound action, from mother thought action, tendencies will come.
And do these tendencies need to be destroyed?
Tendency, if you enjoy the result of our action, whether it is good or bad, if you enjoy the result of our action, certainly tendencies will come. The main obstacle to God realization, tendencies. The main obstacle, the root obstacle to God realization is tendency. Good tendency also, bad tendency also will arrest our progress. The purpose of sadhana is to eradicate tendencies. Unless we come from tendencies, if you are in a position to come from tendencies, naturally and normally realization will come. The main obstacle is tendencies. In spiritual sadhana, tendency creates habits. Tendencies creates habits. Our habits are our chains. Our habits are chains. All habits are they spring from tendencies. the tendencies must be eradicated, must be removed. There is no compromise here. There is no compromise here. Must be removed to get to God realization.
And how to destroy
Whether you may follow any path. Surrender path or devotional path or self-inquiry path, we may follow any path. But the main thing is tendencies must be destroyed.
Could it be enough to achieve a sattvic state of mind?
Could it be
enough to achieve a sattvic state of mind and to know one's vasana, so
how to remove
they no longer bind?
Could it be enough to achieve a sattvic state of mind and to know? No, that is not enough.
It's not enough.
Sattvic state of mind will show you the path to know the truth. That is not destination. Sattvic state of mind is not destination. You have to overcome sattvic nature state of mind also.
So, for example, when you know one of your vasanas,
when you know one of the vasanas,
then this vasana doesn't bind you anymore.
ఆ వాసన మనం ఏమి బైండ్ చేయకుండా ఉన్నట్లయితే
For example, Nana, John David, he has a very strong vasana.
Unless vasana creates you a tendency or a bondage to you, unless vasana will not arrest you, unless vasana will not disturb your mind, it is not a dangerous vasana. It will not bring you rebirth.
Right. So are you saying that you don't have to destroy the vasana, you have to see the vasana, understand the vasana, and then the vasana doesn't bind you anymore?
ఈ వాసన ఉండడం వల్ల వాసన డిస్ట్రాయ్ చేసినప్పటికీ మనకేం బైండ్ అవ్వకుండా ఉంటాయని.
We have to remove the vasana completely. If there is a vasana, it will bring fear also. If you want to reach fearless state, you have to get rid of vasanas.
I think my question is how to get rid of the vasana.
How to remove vasana?
For example,
yes, how to remove? It is the best question. If you are always thinking about asanas, you will not overcome vasana. If you are always thinking about vasana, you will not overcome vasana. Always think of God. Always think of truth. Always think of your favorite God. Always think of Guru, of your Guru. Then automatically food supply will cut to tendency. You have to stop food supply. If you constantly think of God, then automatically we have to stop food supply to tendency. If you are in a position to stop food supply to tendency, then automatically the tendencies will fade away. You follow me?
Yes, that's my experience actually. Yes.
But don't face tendencies. If you think tendencies, it will gain strength. Next student.
Sorry, the other way up.
Ram, come.
Okay. At the end of Ramana's book, Self-Inquiry,
at the end of his book, Self-Inquiry, he says,
He says, he who is thus endowed with a mind that has become subtle and who has the experience of the self is called a jivan mukta. Is this the state that can be called self-realized?
This is the state that can be called self-realized. Jivan mukta and Jivan mukta and self-realized are one and the same.
Yeah.
There is no difference. Jivan mukta and self-realized soul are one and the same. You need not doubt about it. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna described about Jivan Mukta. He is self-realized. He is Sthita Prajna. You need not doubt about it. One and the same. Jivan Mukta and self-realized soul are one and the same.
Okay. And when one is immersed in the ocean of bliss and has become one with it, without any differentiate existence, one is called a viha mukta.
And when one is immersed in the ocean of bliss and has become one without any differentiated existence, one is called videha mukta. It is the state of videha mukta that is referred to as the transcendental turiya. This is the final goal.
Is this the state that can be called enlightenment?
There is no difference between jiva mukta and videha mukta also. Some people get realization. Some people in the last minute, some people get realization when he drops the body. Some people got it like Shakarada. Ramana Maharshi is Jivan Mukta. Gautam Buddha is Jivan Mukta. Shankaracharya is Jivan Mukta. Shakaraja and Yesu Christ also. Yesu Christ also is Videha Mukta. Shakaraja also is Videha Mukta. When he dropped the body, in his last concluding words, Yesu Christ said, "Oh, I am my Father." That is Videha Mukta. Then just when he dropped the body, he got the realization. "Oh, I am my Father." Then he got Videha Mukta. Shakaraja also got Videha Mukta. So when he drops the body at the same time, when he gets realization, simultaneously when he drops the body, it is Videha Mukta. Jnana is one. Mukti is one. Mukti is one. Whether he has body or not, that is not important thing. Are not important. They are not important things. But Jivan Mukta is, Gautam Buddha is Jivan Mukta. When you are dying, when your body is dying, when your body is dying, at the same time you got some glimpses of the truth, then you got realization, you are called Jivan, Videha. They don't do simultaneously together. Dropping of the body, realization of the truth, they get simultaneous. Dropping of the body and realization of the truth at one side. Then when he is dropping the body, at that time you will get to that realization. That is called Videha Mukti. You understand me?
I understand what you say, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So I have a question. In the first state, Jivan Mukta, is this residing in the mind and knowing the self, and the second is residing in the self, observing the mind?
Is the state that can be called enlightenment? Is the first state residing in the mind and knowing the self, and the second residing in the self, observing the mind? Knowing the self and observing the mind.
If you got realization, there is no mind to observe. If you got realization, there is no mind to observe.
First state residing in the mind and knowing the self, and the second residing in self.
There is no mind. There is no mind to observe. There is no mind to control. When you get realization, when you get realization, there is no mind to control, there is no mind to observe. Next. from ninth person.
It appears essential
It appears essential
to meet a guru
uh,
and stay with that guru.
Who is the Guru?
Who is the guru?
What is the Guru's role? How to recognize the Guru, true Guru? Just know.
it appears essential to meet a guru and stay with the guru.
When not
It
doing
is better to see enlightened souls. We will get inspiration from them. It is better to see advanced souls. Not advanced souls also, it is better to see good souls also.
How to recognize
Goodness also, goodness helps us to realize the truth. Goodness also is a part of enlightenment. Goodness is essential. And if you see good souls also, that is a part of sadhana. That is a holy company. That is
welcome.
holy company. It appears essential to meet the Guru. Yes, it is better to see the enlightened soul. It is better to see realized soul, no doubt. And stay with that Guru. If it is possible to stay, mental contact is essential. If you are in a position to be in the presence of Guru, it is well and good. But if it is not possible for you, mental contact is essential. That will also help you to get enlightened. In English, there is a proverb, as you think, so you are. In English language, there is a proverb, as you think, so you are. And mental contact is essential to Guru. It gives much strength to us in sadhana. Who is the Guru? Who is the Guru? Bhagavan says God, Guru and the self are one and the same. God, Guru and the self are one and the same. You need not see any difference. There is only one thing. There is only one thing. And that is absolute truth. You may call the absolute truth as Guru or self or God. God, Guru and God, Guru and self are one and the same. Are one and the same. Who is the Guru? Who is the Guru? Suppose he is advanced soul more than you. You may get guidance from him. He need not be realized soul. Suppose I am studying LKG. He is studying a 10th class. I may learn this from him. He need not necessary PhD degree in mathematics. You follow me?
Yes.
You follow me?
Yes.
But who is the Guru means? Guru means enlightened soul, no doubt. Guru means enlightened soul. Guru's two qualifications essential. For Guru, two qualifications essential. He got direct perception of the truth. And he is in a position to explain the truth, what he felt. Two essential things for Guru. One, he got direct experience of the truth. What he experiences the truth means what he must explain it to others also. That is two main qualifications of the truth as Guru.
And how do you recognize?
Who is the Guru? Who is the Guru? What is the Guru's role? What is Guru? He is a God's representative. Guru means he is in the hands of God. Guru's body is in the hands of God. Guru is God. Guru is the real Guru. The Guru's role is to give to humanity to go to sorrowless state. The main work of Guru is that sorrowless state. That is the main work of the Guru. So many people are coming to me. Why they are coming? In our